For a couple of months now, there have been a couple of fairly noticeable YouTube channels, gardening channels, that have promoted the idea of using pelletized alfalfa or cubes of alfalfa in your garden or in your compost as a source of nitrogen. And you may have noticed the title to this video is "Do Not Use Alfalfa Pellets in Your Garden." And it's not because these gardeners are incorrect in saying that alfalfa is a good source of nitrogen. Alfalfa is good for feeding to your compost heap to add extra nitrogen to help boost it. It's not that it's not a good fertilizer supplement to put out there on your garden. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the price of alfalfa pellets. Because alfalfa pellets in the 50-pound bag cost around $13.40 for that 50-pound bag, which, depending upon the size of your garden, may be all you need. But you'll go through that bag of alfalfa pellets, you'll use them up, and at the end of the year, you'll have an empty bag. You may have a good garden, but you'll have nothing left. I have a different idea and a different way of approaching this, and I'll show that to you right over here. Well, hello there, good people. Hi, it's Jason with Greencountryagroforestry, and I am out here right at the end of February. We are just about 6 weeks away from the official start of spring. We're close enough to it, and it's a little bit chilly out, but as you can see from taking those soil temperature readings using this handy dandy laser thermometer, we've got soil temperatures above 50 degrees, which means we can get away with planting some things that are used to growing in cooler weather. If you look behind me at the ground here, actually, let's go ahead and bring the camera over. Okay, so if we look at the ground here, we're going to see a few things. We've got some daffodils starting to come out. We've got this Lamium purpurea, or purple dead nettle, starting to emerge. We've got a little bit of this Stellara media, or chickweed, and I believe I spotted around here somewhere, there, some wild geranium. And this little thing here, it may look like an onion, but actually this is a Star of Bethlehem. Pretty little snowdrop type flower that's emerging. And there's some odd grasses that are starting to pop up in this area as well. Oh, there's some of the flowers that purple dead nettle already starting to emerge right there. So the ground's starting to wake up. Things are starting to grow, and it's a great time to get some cool season things planted. All right, so alfalfa has a nitrogen content by mass when green of about 2.5 to 3%. Whenever you dry it out to remove the 40 to 60% moisture that's in the green material, you wind up with a final concentration of 5% on the average for dried alfalfa. Of course, you do pay for that, especially if you're buying it by the bagful. A way of getting around that cost is to get the alfalfa seed and plant your own alfalfa and grow your own alfalfa. And while we're at it, I've got some clover seed here as well. We're going to plant and grow some clover and alfalfa together, and we'll use a specialized piece of equipment to do it. All right, late in the winter, as spring is approaching and your soil surface temperatures are reaching around 40 degrees and higher consistently, and today is an overcast day. It rained last night, and we still managed to pull a soil temperature of above 40 degrees. So I think we're pretty good and safe with going ahead and overseeding in alfalfa and clover. All right, so alfalfa and clover are going to provide nitrogen to your garden, and the way they're going to do that is they will grow and establish an association at the roots with certain bacteria. The clover seed that I have is already inoculated with those bacteria, although they already do exist in my soil. Those bacteria will pull nitrogen out of the air and exchange it with the plants for the sugars that the plants contain. And in that way, they provide nitrogen to the plants. The plants have a high nitrogen content. Whenever I come and I use my hand scythe to cut those alfalfa and clover and a few other things that I'll plant into this little patch over here, when I use my hand scythe to do that, I'll be able to take all of that nitrogen and put it into my compost or use it as fertilizer in the garden. And alfalfa may be good, but clover is even better. You get around 4% green and 8% when dried from clover. But of course, clover doesn't grow more than about a foot or so high, maybe 14 inches. This alfalfa should get to be 2 to 3 feet tall. And here's the thing. It's a perennial. So I can come, grow it, cut it, it'll grow back. I can cut it again, it'll grow back again. Here in northeastern Oklahoma, I can probably get away with cutting it 3 times throughout the course of the year, and it will still grow back in time to flower and produce seed. And I can gather that seed and spread the seed to other areas. The area I'm in right now is a plot about 5 foot wide by about 20 foot long, so 100 square feet. Now, the typical recommendations are a 1/4 pound of seed for alfalfa for 25 square feet. But we're not going to use just alfalfa, we'll use clover as well. So I'm going to mix that planting density. Remember, these plants are going to be 3 foot wide, 3 foot tall whenever they're fully sized. So I don't need to plant that heavily to get a good crop of alfalfa out of this region. So let me go ahead and get the ground scratched up a little bit. We want it slightly disturbed on the surface so that the seeds can have good soil contact. We'll spread the seeds with our specialized seed planting tool, and we'll get that going and walk on them a little bit to make sure we have good soil contact. That's about it for today. And for this operation, an old, used, but thoroughly cleaned out seasoning shaker with those large holes at the top is perfect. I'll take my clover seed, that's what I've got in this bag here, and pour some into the container. And guys, this is easy. Easy, easy, easy. You just take the shaker, and just like you were sprinkling salt, you just sprinkle your seeds out over the surface that you're going to plant. And it's fine to walk on it once you've got it shaken out. Of course, if you're going to be using a tractor and seeding a larger field, oh, you might go through 20 to 30 pounds, depending, per acre. But this is just 1 pound of alfalfa seeds. Retail price as low as $4 from the feed co-op. I got this online and paid a little bit more. I think I paid $5, maybe $6 for a 1 pound bag of alfalfa seed. Here we go, coming up to the end of this 100 square foot patch. Almost out of seeds, almost out, almost out, almost out. We're there. That's it. One little 16-ounce size seasoning shaker with the big holes at the top cleaned out so it doesn't have any salt still in it, or pepper, or whatever it was that was in there originally, is great for shaking out seed to cover 100 square feet. Now all I got to do is just walk over this to make sure our seed has soil surface contact. Of course, the clover I'm planting is Dutch white clover. That's a perennial. It'll come back year after year after year. The alfalfa is a perennial. It'll come back year after year after year. And here in a few weeks, I'm going to add one more plant to the mix over here. I think I'm going to plant some perennial buckwheat, which of course will also come back year after year. Hey, there you have it, good people. I have just planted this 100 square foot patch right here along the side of the garden, on the outside border of the garden, with alfalfa and clover, both of them perennials, both of them nitrogen fixing plants, both of them good for biomass, so whenever I come by with my hand scythe and cut them, I'll have lots of fodder to feed to my compost heaps. Yeah, they're also edible too. We can eat them, deer can eat them, rabbits can eat them. The wildlife love them. They love them so much they'll stop here and not keep on going into the garden, which is great. And well, there you have it. That's all I've got for you today, good people. If you found the video informative or entertaining, you know what to do. I will catch you next time.